Hey y'all, this is Moni.
And this is Kat.
Hey Kat.
And
this is the Fake Ass Book Club. Wait, can we both say it or no? Hey y'all, what's up? This is your girl Moni.
Welcome back. This is Kat.
Yes, and this is the Fake Ass Book Club, as you just heard in the intro, guys. What's up with your friend?
Man, there's been a lot of movement in my life.
Yeah.
So that's what's been going on. What's been going on with you?
Wow, that's funny you say that. Lots of movement. Lots of movement, a lot of grown-up stuff.
It's back to school season.
Woo!
It's hot.
Yes, it's that as well.
It's illiterate.
Yes. Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of things.
It is a lot of things. So I guess we should actually talk about why we're here. I mean,
why are we here?
Jeez, I'm not.
What are we doing?
Just to take a break from everything we just got through talking about.
It feels almost unreasonable with everything that's going on. This felt like
seriously. It was like, really, you're gonna just sit and talk for a little while. That's what you're gonna do in the middle of your life.
That feels absolutely opulent.
Straight up.
Straight up.
So today, guys, we have a really cool book. The name of this book. Do you wanna give it the name?
Well, first I want to know, because it doesn't feel like it, but are you excited?
I'm so excited. I guess it wouldn't be an episode, a real one, at this point.
Yeah, I don't feel ready until you tell me how exciting this is.
You know what? It's the lethargy.
Fun is in the title.
It is. I need to listen. I'm about to beat myself on the chest and get a little bit more excited.
Yes.
Because, I'm just a little tired, y'all. It doesn't mean I'm not excited, though. Straight up, I am very excited.
Cool.
Yeah, so
this is Such a Fun Age by a New York Times bestseller by Kiley Reid.
Let's go, Kiley.
Yes.
Out here doing your thing, girl.
Round of applause.
Yeah.
Because writing a book is hard. Reading a book is hard.
It is.
So if writing it is harder.
Oh, my God. And listening is the easiest of the three things you just said. And that, my friend, was hard.
But here's the thing. Listening is hard.
It is.
Because if it were easy, everyone would do it. I have to constantly remind my daughter to listen. Not just to me, but to everyone around. Because you're just listening to yourself. For most of the time, we're just listening to our own inner monologue. So to shut that down long enough to listen to somebody else's was hard, and we did it, and I didn't finish it.
Oh, okay. But you did because you read it before, though? Or
I did,
correct.
But that was last year. Around this time.
Oh.
So I did start re-listening to it, but didn't finish in enough time. The space-time continuum caught up to me.
I see that.
But it just that little bit took me back, and I have to say I won't get ahead of it.
Okay.
Let's go in order. We're going to follow the outline.
All right, let's follow the outline.
Okay, great.
So, let's do the movie trailer statement. I have a little blurb real quick. We can do that. So this is just us kind of giving you a little bit of a little teaser, if you will, about the book. Let's see. This says, okay, cue the music, maestro.
Roll 'em.
A striking and surprising debut novel from an exhilarating new voice. Oh, you know what threw me off? I had something highlighted, and I was like, well, what is this? And so I went to that.
It's so funny.
I'm going to start over. That was weird. Mm-hmm. Okay. A striking and surprising debut novel, an exhilarating new voice. Oh my gosh, I can't read, y'all.
You know what? You're trying to do it fast.
I'm not trying to. I just talk fast.
I listen slow.
Yeah. I actually listen pretty quickly as well. It's a situation. All right, so I'm going to try one more time. A striking and surprising debut novel from an exhilarating new voice, Such a Fun Age, is a page-turning and big-hearted story about race and privilege set around a young Black babysitter, her well-intentioned employer, and a surprising connection that threatens to undo them both.
Dun, dun, dun.
And let me tell you, that was like, damn, Gina. I saw it going that way, too.
I did,
I ain't going to spoil it right at this time.
Right.
But we can get back to spoiling that in a second.
I enjoyed that little twist.
Yeah, that was.
That was fun.
Okay, so before we start talking about the book, guys, we always like to start by dedicating our, every episode to our listeners.
Yes.
Thank you, guys. We appreciate you if you're listening. Also, you know what? I want to dedicate this to working moms. Because
that's all of y'all.
Yeah, man. Shit's hard, man. No matter where you fall on the spectrum, that shit ain't easy.
It's unrelenting work.
Yes, it is. So shout out to you guys. What about you, friend?
I'm going to and that dedication.
Okay.
This is for y'all. And also to Miss Pat, who her show debuted this
Let's
week. I
go.
watched it top to bottom, just streamed all
Just
the
binged
episodes. I had a really great time. I love sitcoms, so it was kind of perfect for me. And it was like a sitcom with cuss words, so it was really perfect for me.
They were really cussing in there, y'all.
I mean,
for
it's
real.
like how people talk. It was so funny because my son, even while we were watching, he was like, this is a good show. And then he was like, their food looks like our food.
He's like, I see myself in this.
Right? He was
Yeah.
like, this is, relatable content.
Well,
And-
shout out to Miss Pat. To totally interrupt you.
Yes, please.
I just want to say who she is for those who, I won't assume
yeah.
that everybody's listened to every episode we've done.
She's famous.
You know what I mean?
should know.
She is, but if you don't know, you need to know. We actually did an episode about Miss Pat and her book Rabbit, which I think was episode 3 officially, and it was a super good book. But we talked about her in the past getting her own show on BET Plus. So
she's splendid.
yeah, check her out there. But
Yes,
what
please
was
do.
the other part?
Oh, and then I had another. I'm doubling up because there's no police for this. Basically, for the 2004 Pacers, I just got through watching that documentary Untold on Netflix about Malice in the Palace. We mentioned that before on the podcast.
We did, and you had to jog my memory.
Yes. And I watched that with your brother and your husband the other day. And it was kind of perfect because you wouldn't have even been interested at all.
I mean, the fighting part probably would have been fun. I've been
it was
waiting
the
for
most entertaining basketball game I had ever watched. I know it was terrible and it was a travesty and all that, but man, oh man, it was like when Mike Tyson bit Evander Holyfield's ear. Like, because generally, you're right, sports are kind of boring unless you're really into it.
Stops a lot.
Yeah. So, and I never really cared for boxing. I did like basketball, but only in the playoffs. So I wasn't going to watch that game anyway if it hadn't been for me braiding your brother's hair. But I'm so glad that we did. We got to experience that live in action, and with him being from Detroit, y'all being from Detroit, and me from Indiana. It was just a very interesting dynamic. So yeah, this is for y'all because y'all should have got the championship that summer if it hadn't been for the Malice and that bitch ass dude throwing that drink.
I forgot about the bitch ass dude.
There was that's what they're talking about, the way the media framed it. And actually, we're gonna get dedication over. So we're gonna get into the book, which is about how. Basically how our biases creep into how we behave. Like as much as well-intentioned, I think that like for a lot of people, we don't want to be biased, but we are. 100%. And because white supremacy is the order of the day, we don't realize all the times that we're doing it.
And that is true.
So even the coverage of that was very, because they kept calling them thugs. Like the dude who threw the drink wasn't a thug.
No.
But me being mad about you throwing a drink at me makes me a thug.
Well, you're a basketball player. You make millions of dollars.
I should be able to throw things at you without being punched in the face.
Yeah, so there. And it's like, nah, man, that's some bullshit.
I know as a human being, if I throw a drink at another human being, I run the risk of getting my ass beat.
Yes.
I don't like getting my ass beat. I don't like fighting. Look at my wrist, Moni.
It looks very delicate and frail, guys.
What am I going to do? What am I going to do with this? Like,
I don't know.
Nothing.
Yeah, that looks easily broken. I ain't going to lie.
So that's why, how many times have we been out and I've started fights?
Never, but I did see you get into a fight one time. I couldn't believe it. Oh my God, really? I could not believe I saw her square up with somebody right in the middle of a living room.
Oh, listen, God.
Yes, we don't have to talk about that, but that shit was hilarious.
That wasn't even a fight. That was just me taking a punch.
No, you fought her back. Did I? You did. You didn't just stand there. Maybe you thought you did, but you were fighting her back. That was crazy as fuck. Yeah, man.
Well, good for me.
I was actually like, damn, Kat was actually like in an actual physical altercation. What the fuck?
But I didn't start it.
No. Oh, no. Definitely not. No.
I didn't. You've never.
But your wrists were in action, though.
Let's run that back. Moni, when have you been out with me and I've started a fight?
Never.
Thank you.
Never, friend.
Thank you,
okay,
counselor.
We can leave it there. It just popped into my brain, though, because now I was like...
I do remember that punch, though, because my jaw is, like, I still remember feeling that. Yeah, a little bit.
That is hilarious. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so back to the book. My bad.
That was such a fun, because I think I was 20. That was a fun age.
I know, right? So what was striking to me just now hearing you talk about, the themes in the book, I mean, we mentioned such a fun age, sounds so fun. You mean to tell me this has something to do with race again, Kat? You know what? I'm tired of this shit.
I know if we stop talking about racism, it'll go away. We keep resurrecting it.
Maybe it never died.
Well, it's obviously our fault for keep bringing it up.
That's true.
But
that's
yes, as we talk about, actually there were several relevant things. Number one was racism. Yes.
Wow.
The next one was sexism.
That's a thing.
Economics. Classism.
Hello.
Status.
Yes, Lord.
Clout.
Boom.
Favoritism.
Chow chow. Is that one? No.
And feminism.
Feminism.
Actually, kind of
that one doesn't even
toxic
exist.
feminism.
That one doesn't even exist.
Well, because it's a very specific form of. Well, let's get also into the character. But let's do a breakdown of the book.
Because we're
still
do the breakdown.
Because if you've never read this book, you don't even know what we're talking about.
Steady breaking it down.
Okay, do you have a breakdown?
I do.
Okay.
I can pull up Goodreads right here. I can read that. Let's see if I can get my vowels and consonants to work together.
But this is fiction, but to me, it was solidly grounded in reality.
Okay, so this is just what Goodreads has up on their website. It says, Alix Chamberlain is a woman who gets what she wants and has made a living with her confidence-driven brand, showing other women how to do the same. She is shocked when her babysitter, Amira Tucker, is confronted while watching the Chamberlains' toddler one night, walking the aisles of their local high-end supermarket. Gosh, I don't know why that was hard
difficult.
To say.
You got through it, though.
Walking the aisles of their local high-end supermarket, the store's security guard, seeing a young black woman out late with a white child, accuses Amira of kidnapping 2-year-old Briar. A small crowd gathers, a bystander films everything, and Amira is furious and humiliated. Alix resolved to make things right. I'm actually just going to stop there because I feel like that's enough information.
I think so, too, because that was the inciting incident of the book. Like, everything kind of precipitates out of that moment.
Indeed, it does. So yeah, I mean, this was a fictional book, and it was... So if you would have read this book, it says it's 310 pages. This is according to Goodreads.
Ooh.
And I don't even know how long of an audiobook it is. I didn't even look.
It was 10 hours.
Thank God that you knew that.
Yeah, it was actually 9 hours and 58 minutes. But in my world, that's 10 hours.
Fuck out of here. That's 10 hours.
I mean, I appreciate their precision.
Yeah, man.
What was so crazy about this inciting incident? So basically, just to break it down, Amira, to me, is the protagonist of the story.
Okay.
Amira is a 25-year-old young lady, college graduate, living in Philadelphia, working as a babysitter. She gets an emergency call from her employer while she's out partying with friends. And she's like, hey, we need you right now. So she goes, gets the little girl, takes her to the supermarket to keep her busy. And a white lady who was just shopping there assumes that she stole this white child and then calls security on her. Why on earth?
Why else would she be there with a little baby?
Because we project onto other people because it's like, it's not like any black women are trying to steal white babies. But
not that I know of. I mean, I think it's weird just in general when people steal babies. Like, why would you do that? I don't get it.
To me, I'm usually trying to keep them from falling out of me.
Please, like, no.
It's usually me trying to block that process. Mm-hmm. So the idea of me going out of my way to steal a white child, that's what I feel like doing with my life. Like, so much of this book reminds me of being in white spaces where a lot of times white women will overshare with me, and then Moni's having a wasabi headache. It's really, really funny to watch. I wish I could share this with all of you. I can't.
Sorry.
And I lost my train of thought.
It got me. You said about being in white spaces.
Well, I hate that.
With white babies.
Well, no, with minding your business. Like a lot of the themes in this book too, where a lot of times you see Amira like not giving people information they really, really want from her.
Oh, I like that.
Where she's like, what difference does it make? I don't really want to share this with you, and I don't want to hear about your business either.
Right. I'm here to do my thing, and I'm trying to just get the fuck out of here.
And bounce when they were like, well, I understand if you want to press charges, he violated your civil liberties, because that was criminal confinement. Like they were keeping her from leaving the store because they were saying she stole this white baby. And
that shit was wild.
I think about my grandmother because so many people didn't believe that her daughter was hers because she was so light and stuff. So a lot of times, like even in the hospital, like they didn't want to give her a baby. It's like, well, this is a white child. I don't think I should be handing it over to this negress. Like, what's she going to do with it? Like, she's probably going to sell it for crack. I don't know.
Wow.
That's how they were treating her in the store, which is why, and I could really relate, like, keeping it together until you get home and then have to cry.
Right, for sure. And I mean, also, too, I know I hate being a spectacle. So, like, as soon as it turns into a whole thing where people are gathering around
and recording it.
And here I am, tipsy. Because, let's talk about how I left a party with my friends come do you a solid, bitch.
Right.
And thank God I'm destitute because I'm thinking,
there would have been no one. I love how she was, like, checking her account balance. It's like, I have $79.53 right now. I think I'm going to have to say yes.
I guess I got to go. I'm out of here, guys. Yeah.
It's like I'm not having that much fun anyway. I've reached peak level fun. There's always that point of the night where you're like, I don't think it's going to get any funner
It's
than
not
this.
getting any funner than this.
Like it's good, but it can definitely go downhill. Like I want to get out of here before the evening shooting. So let me just go ahead and book right now and go ahead and get out of here.
Wait,
so,
you're not going to casually drop in the evening shooting and keep moving like that was regular. So
I liked Miss Pat's show.
That's really
Let's bring
fucked
back to
up.
Miss
That
Pat.
is.
She was like, that's just a black club's way of letting you know it's time to go home.
Shit's about, it's time.
Yeah.
It's closing time,
Yeah,
guys.
it's like, oh, pop.
I
Let's
really
go.
hate that.
I think we've done a good job in the past, though, of getting out of there before the
I
shooting.
know, we really have. I'm proud of us for that.
But like I said, it's usually like I'm tired and we're both honest people. We'd usually put in a whole day's work ahead of time.
And it's like, this feels sufficient.
Because we have a term for like when we don't even end up going out, which is pranking out.
Yeah,
and
man.
a double prank out. That was always the best when we're
when
both
both
like,
are like, no thanks, I don't even want to.
I can't do this.
I thought I could, but I can't.
desperately so need to do nothing that I can't do this really fun sounding thing because I'm so exhausted.
Oh my gosh.
But we didn't prank out today. We're here for this
No,
book.
we didn't though. But so why do you think Amira didn't want to like share the video? What was your take on that? Was that
Oh my
just
God,
like,
because there's no winning. Because it would have been like, well, bitch, why was your skirt so short? Why was your wig so long? Like, what were you doing, like, holding this white child? Like, this is the most precious commodity in the world. Like, why do you deserve to have this and be out and about? And I don't think you should. Like, I don't think you should be here in this fancy ass grocery store. There's gonna like
Don't belong here.
she had pointed out even before, like she didn't even tell her parents about it because they were gonna. She was like, yeah, they're usually like, what? Because she used another example of when she experienced racism when she was getting a Brazilian wax, and they were like, if there was a special where it was only supposed to be $35, but they had to charge an extra $5 because she had textured hair.
Fuck outta
So it's like, but actually,
but it says in print right here though,
right?
And there's no asterisk.
That's a
saying,
violation
like,
of the commerce laws. Like
Man.
you would have had to put an addendum in there to say, but like you don't, you know,
or read the fine print or turn.
but
it over.
her mom was just like, you got what waxed? It was like,
Exactly. It's like, what are you out here doing?
right. So it's this whole thing of it's I think it was self-protection.
Yeah, I
ultimately,
agree.
because for the there was a man who recorded it happening and he was trying to convince her to like release it so that she could press charges and maybe get a settlement or whatever from the grocery store. And she was like, yeah, that's not going to work out for me. Like, you don't understand. Like, I might not be able to get a job after that.
Right. People can Google my name and then this video.
And that's the
shit.
first thing that's going to
Clickbait.
pop up. I like that she, was present enough. Like, at 25, she already knew, like, this isn't going to work out for me the way you think it is. Like, you have a different perspective. You're coming at it from your
vantage point, kind of.
Yeah, like you're projecting onto me what you would do if your civil liberties were threatened in this grocery store at night, because no one would dare come up to you, tall white man, and be like, sir, you are not leaving this establishment until you explain to me why you deserve to be here.
I mean, even if he had a molester mustache, they wouldn't have stopped him.
Especially not, because it's like, ew.
It's like, no, I don't even want to talk to him. It's
No, exactly. Like, you're free to move about in this space at this time because of how you look, and I am not. So I think that's why Amira chose not. And I completely affirm her. I feel like I would have made a similar decision because it's like, I want to get on with the rest of my life. I don't feel like being on the news.
Bitch, I'm not trying to be a meme. I don't have time for that. You know what I
And
mean?
also, not for nothing, at the end of the night, I usually don't look super great like I did at the beginning of the night.
It's like, do I really want, you know what I'm saying, my best foot not forward? You know, when I'm blasted all across
Right,
this
and her
interweb?
friend had left. Like, maybe if my friend had still been, like, if you had still been there or something like that. Like, but when
Power
it's just
numbers,
you,
you feel
and
like,
I'm
oh,
here
hell
with
no.
the child.
A 2-year-old too, that's the other part too. Like, I'm trying to protect her.
Right.
From being, you know, and the
that was her
family. I'm thinking,
buddy.
I mean,
I don't give a fuck about that family.
I
But
don't
yes, Briar,
the
Briar
baby,
was
she
her
was-
babysitting charge, who was like 2 going on 3.
Yeah.
And sounded adorable. Let's get into Briar.
okay, she was cute.
Because this is where the theme of favoritism comes in. And I've always had this like hypothesis that what we're calling white people who have been treated as the least favorite child are more primed to understand what Black people are going through in America.
Give an example. I know we've talked about this before, but like who? Like, and maybe we even said something a little bit on the podcast before.
I know a lot of people. So like, there's a lot of people.
There's a lot of reasons why that might be.
Yeah.
Like maybe you have red hair, or maybe you look physically different than the rest of your family, or
where you're just treated differently. Yes. Where you're kind of otherized in your own space. So you understand that you do get treated differently, even though everyone's trying to tell you no, it's all the same. You're just being dramatic.
Right.
You're being sensitive.
Your grandpa just calls Black people colored still. It's fine. It's part of his charm.
Or other colorful, or nignogs.
Oh, man, there goes that one.
That's saying in the vernacular. But like, yes. So, Briar is basically Alix Chamberlain. It's her first child, but she has another daughter named Catherine who's way just calmer. So that's her favorite child.
And it looks, they went on to
look
go.
The same. And that happens a lot of time too with favoritism. You tend to favor the child that looks like you or acts like you. And it's ironic, and I'm using the word correctly, because Alix's brand is this feminist brand of let her speak. But her least favorite daughter is a chatterbox. And a lot of times too, it does get difficult. I think we've spoken more than once on the challenges of parenthood here.
Oh, yeah.
And so a lot of times your children will mirror questions to you that you don't want to ask yourself. Like, they will ask you, it's like, Mom, why is your belly hanging over your jeans right now? And you have to be like, oh, it's because I'm fat because of you. And it's like...
Or I can still be blaming this on you years later, but I just have not activated again, okay? I don't have the wherewithal to get it back, okay? I gave up.
Like, basically, that's the kind of little daughter she was, where everything that comes up comes out.
Right.
But it was Amira, our protagonist, loved that about her.
Right.
And so she was Amira's favorite, but she was her mom's least favorite.
I thought that was really cute how much she liked this little girl. I mean, and I kept thinking to myself as a 25-year-old woman, if I was like babysitting,
You're not trying to work that hard.
Well, no, I mean, it's just, I don't think I've ever been... I'm trying to remember if I've ever been super attached to any kids. Like, loved them. This sounds bad to anybody who I ever babysat. I'm not saying I didn't love you. I'm saying, like,
she didn't love you.
In this book.
It's fine. She didn't have to. That's why you had to give her money to do it. If you loved them, you would have just did it.
Well, I don't know.
You watch kids for free now? It's because you love them, right?
Well, no, I get... Technically, yeah, it is free. I'm not getting paid for that.
Yeah, it's out of the love. But it's like, whenever you're like, yeah, I'll do it for money.
For money. Let's talk about that. But I just thought it was sweet though, because I was like, wow, that's nice. Like, she really, really, really seemed to like.
Well, I feel like she was talking about how after leaving school, she wasn't passionate about anything. She didn't hate anything, but she didn't love anything.
I related to that so hard.
I thought of you, friend.
I was like, I'm the most like meh person ever about. It's like, no, that's fine. Like, I don't hate or love. I mean, I do love some stuff. But I'm not, I'm not pumped up every day for it.
Yeah,
I mean,
where it's like, if this is taken from me, be like, no.
Right. But that was the thing that she found a lot of joy inside of. So I think that it was like an escape from her feeling like I have to know what to do with my life, because that is kind of like that point
that
where
pressure, 25, where it's like, I should be, it reminded me of Insecure.
Oh, yes.
Where it was like, oh, like, God, like, maybe I should like have money and have a plan by now.
Right. And that feels crazy too, because you're getting pressure from parents.
But it's technically, it's when your brain just now starts forming up. It really is just when you're emerging into adulthood. I think like you shouldn't have to put that much pressure on yourself, but like her peer group, they were already getting their stuff together. She didn't even want to tell her parents she was babysitting.
Right.
Because it felt too...
That seems kind of juvenile, like as a 25-year-old. Like if you're not like official nanny. Yeah.
But she enjoyed the work, and that's why I put too. Status was a part of this, because it's like, this is a job I could see myself doing and enjoying, but it doesn't come with any status. And that, I'm sorry. I wrote this down.
That's a good point too. I like that. Because, nobody's thinking you're particularly prestigious for being a babysitter.
But it's about how undervalued childcare is, because it's viewed as bitch work. Like, it's just something that women are expected to do. So it's not valuable. Just like cleaning, cooking. Like, these are all things that you're supposed to do and enjoy and do without complaint.
Ain't it?
And it's and shopping and, providing for the house. Like, these are all things you're supposed to do in addition to making money for the household as well. So it's like, why isn't that like even the fact that she was paid under the table? Like even this woman who Alex.
It's like Alex, but Alex. I know you're
so
exhausted. It's very pretentious, but okay. Alex.
And that has to do with her background and everything like that. Where
we can get back to her, but did you want to finish?
It's just the fact that she wants to. Her brand was feminist hero, right? So, but then when it comes to actually helping women, like putting her on payroll would have helped. Amira.
Oh, a lot more.
And giving her health care. It would have validated the fact, because I think that childcare workers deserve health care. I feel like it makes them better childcare workers. Like, this is a really important job. It's one of the jobs that if you don't do, it ruins society. So just because it's something that women have generally done, though, it's like, well, we don't really pay for that. Like, we'll break you off under the table a little bit if you come around, but we don't really see that as a real job.
What's crazy is that you don't even want to do it. So that's the other part. So if it wasn't a job, then, you know what I mean? Why would there even be a need for me to be here?
I'm sorry, I had a little something in my throat.
Take her with you to your job, you know?
If it's so easy.
If it's just so easy,
if it's something
and it's no
that
big deal,
any idiot could do, you know, like what? Yes.
And not for nothing. I mean, having somebody who genuinely has affection for your kids, you know, like I've been affectionate toward kids, but like I said, I don't think I ever felt the way Amira felt about this kid. I mean, to the point where, you know, she was looking forward to taking her to her little recitals that she had and wanted
when
to
she
go.
Didn't get to
yeah,
go.
oh my gosh, she wanted to go to, I think it was a Halloween little party recital thing, or it was a costume party maybe. And she had little ears, and she knew that the baby was gonna like dress up, and then she didn't get to do it because Alex canceled it at the last minute to have her go replace a goldfish or something that died. I don't know. But it was just kind of messed up. I felt like...
Because she didn't want to explain the cycle of life and death to her child.
Right,
it's like, then don't have kids.
Die.
If you don't want to explain the cycle of... If you don't want to explain things, don't have kids.
Man.
They need a lot of explaining.
That's true.
Or at least the kids I've had, they've got questions.
And if you don't want to do any personal work on yourself, please avoid having kids.
Yes, because they will let you know about yourself. And indirectly. Like, they're not trying to break you down. They're just kind of like, wow, it looks like you're kind of slipping up here. What's going on?
It's like, this is objective reality. Everyone knows. You should too. Okay?
I'm just saying. And like I said, this young girl was just so excited about finally being able to talk. Like, she didn't want to stop. And it just sounds like she was funny. Like, she really had to, you know what? This was, did you read any of the reviews on Amazon about the book? No, I did. Like, I went like and scrolled through. Like, the first couple of reviews that pop up are like 1-star reviews. They're terrible.
Oh, really?
A lot of people did not like the book. Okay. So I'm like, huh. And I would say one thing I didn't necessarily enjoy was the narrator, like her doing the voices. Didn't love.
Okay.
And that was one of the criticisms someone brought up, because they were like, it sounded real stereotypical and stuff. And I'm like, well, I get her wanting to differentiate between the voices, but it might have just been a little bit easier if she had just read the thing in her own voice.
The whole thing.
Because she wasn't great at voices. She was good at narrating. Like, when she was just regularly talking, I liked it. But when she tried to do, like, especially the urban patois, it was a little... So
okay, that's how she sounded.
Okay,
okay,
and especially when she was doing Briar's voice, the 2-year-old.
Oh yeah,
I didn't like how.
Yeah,
I didn't love it, but I still enjoyed the book. That just was probably my least favorite part.
Oh,
but it wasn't enough to take me out of it, because to me it was a well-crafted, well-paced narrative. Actually, can we read this about the author?
I know. Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Kiley Reid earned her MFA from the Iowa Writers Workshop.
What's MFA?
That is your Master's of Fine Arts.
Damn.
Yeah.
Let's go, Kiley.
Yes.
You out here, girl.
And the Iowa Writers Program, that's like super prestigious or whatever. Because what's her name? Leah Dunham was talking about that on her list. It's a big deal.
I like it. Okay.
It's a big stinking deal. Okay. Where she was awarded the Truman Capote Fellowship and taught undergraduate creative writing workshops with a focus on race and class. Her short stories have been featured in Plowshares, December, New South, and Lumina. Reid lives in Philadelphia.
Nice.
Yeah, so she's
lovely
fancy.
too.
Yeah, she's fancy, and she's a natural hair icon.
Oh my God, her afro in this picture.
It rules all.
Whoa.
They had to block it out because they were like, oh, we have to make sure we go out enough so that the whole thing gets in there. And a little bit was still cropped out.
Beautiful.
So, but I was drawn to the Truman Capote Fellowship because he's one of my, I enjoy his writing as well. He's the guy who wrote Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, okay. I've heard of that. I did not know his name.
The movie is way different than the book, by the way.
Okay.
Like, I'm one of those people, if I like a movie, if there's source material, I'll try to read the source material. And then, and In Cold Blood was a famous novel that he wrote about it. It was like one of the first major true crime novels.
Okay.
So it was, And so Truman Capote, he's a really good writer.
So what you're saying, he's a motherfucking icon.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that's why he has a fellowship named after him. So the fact that she got that means like she's pretty hot stuff.
Yeah, I like it. And this is her first novel? Or
yes, this is her debut novel.
So to me, for this to be her first out of the blocks, I thought it was pretty good.
Because you talk about pacing, because what's her name? Lena Wright? She's turning this into a movie.
Lena Waithe?
That one.
Like her.
Lena Waithe.
You know what I was thinking too the whole time I was listening to this book or reading this book was that I could definitely see it. Like,
because the beats are all there. Like,
I can see it in picture form.
It's very,
and it's today. I mean, especially with the things from social media and all of that kind of thing. So, okay, so let's transition away from what is the little baby's name you just said, Lord?
Briar?
Yeah, Briar's ass and Alix. So let's talk about Alix too, though. Let's talk about her like backgrounds to give you context before we get to the inciting incident.
Did you like her character?
I like the idea of her. You know what I'm saying? I could see how
she's well intentioned. That's in the description.
100%. Like I can understand how she is the way that she is. You know what I mean? Just based on her background, how she grew up. And, it seemed like her parents were kind of, I don't want to be disrespectful to anybody's background. How do you describe them, folks?
Tacky. They were tacky.
Tacky, and I think did they win the lottery or something? Or no, they got inheritance.
It was more than that. They sued the funeral company mixed up their parents' ashes or something like that. Their bodies.
I think that they cremated the body they weren't supposed to. Yes. So they got that and got a lot of money. And then on top of that, got all of the money from the parents after they passed away too. So, and
they didn't really know how, like, people think being rich is easy. Being rich is like anything else. It's difficult. 30% of everything sucks. And also what you learn when you get a certain amount of money is you don't have that much money.
That too, because you're spending more.
Always more people with money. So your only thing you really get to see is the next echelon that you're not on. Like,
that's why it never stops.
It never stops. Because that's what I was talking, because we talk about Alix.
Mm-hmm.
And Amira both had a lot of economic anxiety.
Yes, they sure did. They did. And I mean, it's funny because her coming from a background, so they didn't start off with a lot of money, but then they got like overnight. Right. Yeah, like now she grew up like in a mansion.
A Mick mansion, though.
A Mick, okay, yeah. So not like
and once again, it's not an estate. It's not old money where you can be like, oh, this is tasteful. It's more like, we columns.
Made it, bitch. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
We got to get your marble columns.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's a little gauche. It's a little nouveau riche.
Wow, that's fancy way of saying tacky, I guess. I'm picturing like zebra print and rhinestones.
Mm-hmm.
And for
dogs.
She said like the dogs would be pooping all over the house. Yeah. There wasn't furniture all in through the house.
Like, here's the thing, you can have money, but that doesn't give you taste.
Mm-mm.
So you get the feeling that she was like, I want to feel like I come from money and taste, not just money.
Right. And trying to separate, like, I want the money part, but the tacky part I'm trying to leave behind. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to rebrand myself because in high school, it was just Alex. And then once she moved to New York after she finished school or whatever, she ended up being Alix.
And then that was the thing. She hated not living in New York. Like, living in Philadelphia to her felt like a downgrade. And like, she can't say that she's living in New York. Now she's just in Philadelphia being a housewife, and she felt diminished.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, so I guess I related to Alex as far as just in that space of feeling like, you know, trying to balance what you think you want career-wise, because she was a pretty driven person. Like, she was very ambitious. Knew what she wanted. Yeah, she was ambitious. So I liked that part about her character.
It wouldn't take no for an answer.
Right. Very, very much so, because she started off writing letters and stuff to different people, I think, about their products, and then she started getting paid for reviews, and it just really took off.
Her blog took off.
Well, yeah, so she, you know, I'm sure she looked at herself as self-made, and that's not to diminish, you know, what she did, but it's like, you know, you already kind of have...
you had a leg up.
Yeah, you have a leg up just based on your, you know...
right.
Your background and all of that. But, yeah, you could see she was trying to outrun that part of her life and that kind of thing. So...
can we do the spoiler?
Yeah, let's do the spoiler.
Okay, so... Well, there was a lot of layers to the story,
That's what I was
though.
saying. Like, should we talk about who? So we talked about her and kind of gave you a background on her. We kind of told you about Amira, right?
Yeah.
So let's talk about how things intersect before they do. So, like, remember we were saying how when she was at the store that there was a gentleman that was trying to convince her to...
Yeah, that was Kelly. Kelly's fine ass.
Yeah, Kelly was supposed to be this fine white man who was trying to get Amira to tell... The people about her situation or whatever, and she disagreed. And so, like, he had this video in her phone, and she was like, I need you to erase that bitch because I don't need this to get out. So
he was like, yeah, but let me get your email so I can, you know, send it to you in case you change your mind.
You can watch me erase it, and then you can have it just in case you change your mind.
And then I'll just, you know, have your email.
Right, and I'll just slide upon you whensoever I shall feel. But yeah, so... But it was kind of flirtatious, a little flirtatious at the time. She didn't notice he was attractive, kind of.
Well, she was in duress.
But yeah, but it was like, whatever, this night's fucking stupid, I'm going home. And she ends up running into him again on the train or in the bus.
Something. Public transportation.
Oh, yeah. And
because he's like, leaning over the bars over and stuff. Like, he's kind of tall and he looks like Gaston.
Yeah, but not Gaston.
That's how well, I will say her writing paints a picture. So she said he looked athletic, like he played sports in college, and he had like a real strong job. That sounds like Gaston.
Yeah, man, he was beefy.
Yeah.
With a strong chin.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they paint him as a super attractive guy.
Listen, y'all, it's Alex's ex-boyfriend from high school.
So, God damn it, just get to it.
I can't hold back anymore. They don't find out until later, but yeah, she starts dating this dude. Oh, because here's the other thing. Okay, so did you ever watch Little Fires Everywhere?
No, but isn't that based on a book too, though?
Yes.
Or am I tripping? Okay. No.
And another thing I've been watching on HBO is White Lotus, where the themes are kind of sort of these privileged white women who are like, why is this pickaninny getting stuff that I want?
Ooh. Pickaninny. You brought that one back? That's inflammatory. AF. That stands for ass fuck.
But our narratives that we're given are that, like, generally, like, what we're calling poor, because Amira isn't poor. Not really. Like, you have a college education. Like, you know, but the fact that she isn't as established as she's kind of like
you have an air mattress.
Because I remember one time watching daggone Taxi Cab Confessions.
Man, that was
great.
Man.
But there was this girl in there, and she just seemed, you know, kind of college, all this kind of stuff. And she was talking about how her boyfriend was cheating on her with some girl. It's like she didn't even go to college. And it's like, bitch,
they don't teach you how to suck dick in college or nothing. It's like,
well, they kind of do.
I mean, there's no class.
No, there's
I mean, you
not.
might have more opportunities to try it or do it or whatever. But
there's a lot of it going on.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Yes, no, there's
lots of fellatio.
Yeah, generally that's an extracurricular class that you'll have to pay
not
for.
Getting credits for that one, y'all.
No, you're not. No, that's
maybe
not
street credits.
It's not going towards my GPA.
That's what you're going for.
But yeah, and it was like, well, maybe you should have majored in not getting played.
Ooh.
Because it's like that's not going to stop you. But like, there's a sort of mentality of if I do this, this, and this, I'll get
this. So delusional when it comes to that, though. I do think that like we get very beside ourselves when we like you see. And honestly, to this day, I would be clutching my pearls if I found out my husband was cheating with somebody who I thought was conventionally less attractive than myself.
Oh yeah,
I would be in my bag.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Feel
but
great.
It doesn't.
I've been there.
Listen,
I've been there.
It's like, who's this bitch?
It's like, really?
Like let it be an upgrade. But I think that most of the time it has nothing to do with
I want to feel like, you know what, good for him.
It's like, well, or at least damn. I
can see why this was a temptation. I feel like Daniel Tosh had a really good joke about that.
He's
the comedian. Stand
white
up.
man from that show who was, he was like
Tosh.0.
sticking stuff in his butt and stuff, man.
I don't know if he did that.
I just picture him doing that.
He
I'm
might
sorry,
have.
Daniel, maybe you
He never
didn't
did
do
it
that.
on the show. But in one of his stand-ups, he was talking about how, like, when he goes on the road, like, he always makes jokes about cheating on his girlfriend. And she was saying, like,
Just
oh,
keep
you're being
talking.
real
I'm coming
nice.
to you to get wasabi.
She was like, how can you, like, cheat on me with this skank? And he's like, girl, you got it all messed up. It's like, it's not you versus skank. It's you versus every skank in the world. Like, it's like an army of Spartan skanks that are like going up against just you. So you can't really win.
No.
And so, yeah, it is sort of this. But back to this book, I think one of the, when we're skipping ahead a little bit here, but when Alex finds out that Alex, Jesus.
I know it's hard. It's so stupid. Go ahead.
When Alex finds out that her babysitter bagged the dude that got away.
How the fuck she found out. Like, what I didn't like about Alex's bitch ass was the fact that, like, she started having this unnatural, like, fixation with her because of this thing, right?
Because she never thought about her before. She was like, never asked this girl anything about herself before the market. What was the because we have like a fancy restaurant, or not restaurant, grocery store here that's like called Market District.
Yeah.
And like that was the kind of the name of this place. It was Market something, Marketplace or whatever. And so, yeah, ever since the incident where she was detained for suspicion of stealing a white child, she became really, I would say obsessed with Amira.
Definitely. And it was also because it piggybacked on their house getting egged.
Oh, from Peter's dumbass.
Her husband was a newscaster.
That was my other question. What is it? Because I honestly believe he wasn't intending that to be a harm. He made a comment, offhanded comment, because he's a newscaster, basically about how this white boy who was doing a promposal, he hoped he asked her father first. And there was a
black guy.
Yeah, it was a black guy who asked a white girl like to prom, and he made some sort of little offhanded racist comment or whatever, and it ended up with people egging his house and calling him racist and stuff.
Which is why they called old girl to come to
take the baby, so she wouldn't have to deal with the police and the trauma of that. But then is whatever.
Yeah, so they were she was trying to. You already feel like you're being perceived as racist in that scenario. Then this one, it's like, oh my gosh, what if she? Like, I sent her there kind of thing.
Right. You weren't even thinking about the fact when we were talking about Gabrielle Union's book, because even black people don't think about it all the time. Like when Dwayne Wade was like, yeah, I sent the kids up the block. I've been rich a long time. Like, bitch.
What's wrong with you?
And it's like no matter what, your money doesn't protect you when it comes to racism, because it's insane.
And it's not logical.
It's not logical at all. So no matter what, all it takes is that wrong white person seeing your black body somewhere where they feel like it doesn't belong.
It's like, yeah, I'm going to need to see your ID.
It's like I'm going to need you to give me an explanation. It's like, it just doesn't seem like you should have a white baby with you.
Oh my God. And she was going hard too. But yeah, so I think it was that, and then some of her background too, because come to find out there was an incident that happened
where
in
she
high
called
school
the police on a white dude and ruined his life.
A black dude. You keep saying white dude.
I'm sorry. She called the police on a black dude.
Yeah. And it was weird because I guess the group of guys, they were like popular, and
they had basically just showed up. Her Kelly, who was her boyfriend at the time, had just showed up, and like he was invited, but because she had this lush McMansion. Now, when you're a teenager, McMansions look awesome. Like you can be older now and be like, that's not very tasteful. Right. But you don't care about taste when you're like 16. You're just like, there's a hot tub. Let's go. Right. So yeah, they're like, there's a pool. Let's have fun or whatever. And she was like, no, I just wanted time with my boyfriend, and he invited you. I didn't. You guys need to go. But she didn't say that. She just called the police. She didn't actually even go say, I don't want y'all here. Leave. She's like, I'm calling the police. And they came, arrested him, he lost scholarship, like it didn't ruin his life. He was fine. But it's like,
that's traumatic.
For something that you did, because that was one of my questions. What's an acceptable level of ignorance? Because honestly, I do believe she would, if she had really known the impact that because I even feel like the lady who sicked the security on Amira at the grocery store wasn't aware of what she had unleashed.
No, but that's also too why you should mind your business a little bit.
Well, but that's part of our home training, yes.
Yeah.
I was taught and my mom for real, really hammered that in. It's like, you really don't need to tell anybody unless they ask you about yourself. Nobody really cares. You know what I mean? Like, you need to just kind of shut up a little bit. Like, no one's really trying to hear about your stuff. No. And I had to explain that to my son one time because he was asking me something about my mother, because I think he realized he didn't even know where she went to college and stuff. And I was like, well, dude, if you don't ask her, she's not going to tell you. Like, Mima is really a lady. Like, she's not going to volunteer information about herself. You have to ask her. And he was like, oh, okay, that's interesting to know.
That's funny to me that you equate that with being a lady, though.
For society, her, ladylike training. Like, for her, that's being ladylike.
But that is like being something not hers. So, like, you're just raised to just kind of sit there and be cute.
And like, that's what's so funny to me about her Alix brand being called Let Her Speak.
When your daughter, you can't stand
where you feel like speaking for other people, though. Like, because I feel like at a certain point, she kind of wanted a mirror to be her Barbie doll.
And it's like, look at me. Like, I'm not so bad because I've got, But
I have your best interest at heart. Like, I don't care about...
She was reading her text and stuff. That's the part that I was going to say infuriated me. So,
in her playlist.
Looking at her song, and had the audacity to be judgy about it too, though. Like, she'd be like, she'd use a word like...
It's like, this is very anti-feminist.
She'd use a word that she felt like was maybe something she wouldn't expect to be in her vernacular. And then turn around and be like, but she listens to music like Pop That Ass on the Floor.
Oh, let's talk about this a little bit too, because one of the things that it's so crazy because it's complicated, because honestly, I feel like there's too much emphasis in like the general culture about women being tiny and kind of shrinking ourselves. Like, it's a big deal.
Physically and otherwise.
Yes. So basically after Alix had her baby, like, she gained weight and she was feeling bad about it. But it's like, what did you, like, why can't I gain weight after I have a kid? Like, that's kind of what's supposed to happen. Like, why am I expected to go back to the way I was before? I shouldn't be the same. Like, I've changed.
No, you get surgery and you get back to the way before.
Yes, because it becomes offensive. Like,
like,
and
how dare you?
Alix became, like, that was something she was talking to her friends about. She's like, I'm getting fat, you guys. And they were telling her, it's like, look, no pasta, do this, like, enforcing that narrative. And then you see the skinny black chick show up and it's kind of like, so this skinny black bitch has my dude and
she ain't even got a dresser
goals.
Set that matches. Okay, how?
And not for nothing, when the last time I was in a predominantly white workspace, like, that was something that was kind of brought up.
What?
That I was like tiny. Like, the chick brought up it was weird. Like, the vibes were just weird. Because even Alix, it was a little scene, because there's a lot of subtext. Like, she didn't come out and just say stuff, but when Alix, because she wanted her to wear that polo that said "Let Her Speak" and stuff, like, that was kind of her unofficial uniform when she came over to babysit. And she was like, well, I have one for you. She's like, oh, it might be a little big, like, just little stuff like that, where she's just kind of commenting on your kind of like. And I remember one time, because one of the chicks was like, oh yeah, you're so small or tiny, something to the, or thin. Like, she just said something like it was.
And it's being said in a way. You can feel it.
Yeah. And also to the point too, where, because part of my home training is you don't comment on people's physical appearance. Like, that's just that I was taught that was rude.
I wish more people were taught that.
I do too.
You know what I mean?
Here's some free home training for y'all. Don't comment on people's physical appearances. Like, I like funny. In Japan, I was reading about how, like, when they give compliments, they're not specific. So if you're dressed night, they'll just like, oh, I like. And they don't just be like, oh, I like your skirt. Because they feel like that's rude, because you're like, oh, you don't like the other stuff?
Wow.
It's like,
you're not complimenting every aspect of my being.
So, and generally, so if they are going to compliment your appearance, they'll just say generally, I like.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, that's better. Because then it'll be kind of weird sometimes, where it's just like, oh, da, 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 da. But because of how our society is, we put such a premium on physical appearance, it's actually seen as polite to comment on somebody's physical appearance. Or I know for me, being in predominantly white spaces, I change my hair all the time. So every time I change it, they'd be like, oh, so like your hair grew. Or, oh my God, like you're, and it's like, we don't have to talk about it every time, guys.
We really, really, really don't.
I get it. You don't get it.
And that's okay.
It's okay.
You have to be okay
Let's
with that.
move on from here and just talk about whatever the hell we're here for.
Because for one, it's not even that interesting. That's the part that gets me. It's like, bitch, this is not anything to spend any additional time on. Right.
Like, this is just what I do.
And spend your free time looking it up. Google it, bitch. We've said that before. Don't make me put the Amber song back in there. You better Google.
Safari.
Listen, do it.
Firefox and Bing. It's all over the place.
Go and look it up yourself.
Go look it up yourself.
It's so much information at the tip of your fingers.
It's a whole new world if you just look.
But yeah, that was my question. Like, what is an acceptable level of ignorance for either Peter when he made that offhanded comment about the promposal, or for Alix when she's telling Amira to go to a store at midnight with her white daughter, or Alix back in high school calling the police, or the white lady at the grocery store calling the police on Amira, because they're obviously doing it out of a sort of ignorance. So how much onus do we have? How much, because I'm trying to incentivize allyship. So how much do what were racialized white people have to do?
Wow, you're coming to me for answers.
Yes.
That's weird. I really don't know. I don't have percentages. I like how
unacceptable.
those
Answers, make something up.
But I definitely feel like it is work. And I do now, you know, if it's midnight and your house just gets egged and you're trying to keep, you know,
that's
like maybe you're in a crisis, you're literally not thinking. So
your
I don't know that I
kicked in.
Yeah, like I don't know that she really was thinking about that because she never has to. Like that's just it. Is like, how do you expect somebody to pull that shit out of their ass, especially when they're in self-preservation mode or, you know, something like that. So I don't know in those kind of situations. And then two, not for nothing, I feel like maybe in a way she felt like, you know, it felt like fight or flight for her, knowing, because I mean, at the time she thought that the letter, she had written this letter to Kelly, asking him to come take her virginity and stuff. And she makes like this whole map. She makes a whole map of her house and it's like, sweetheart, here for where the bedroom is and all of this stuff. And it had like the gate code to get into their house or something like that. And so the fact that those guys showed up made her feel like after he popped her cherry, here, you know, here comes these guys and stuff. So in her mind, she's thinking like, I've
been disrespected.
Yeah, like you just gave him, like, I'm up here thinking I'm losing my virginity to this boy I love in high school, and you got you just came up here and now your friends are here and you're like, well, maybe we can just swim and it's not a big deal. So I can see how that's like, man, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know that somebody like her in the environment that she's in, if that resonates to her on any fucking level, unless you're directly saying it to her, like in that moment. Like he kind of was like, don't do it. But I think, you know, I don't know that it would have made a difference if he would have explained to her, like, you understand that because they're black and they're in this neighborhood and you're saying, you know, instead of like, let's just go out there. Coach, you might have to coach somebody through that in that moment, because I don't know that I expect them to know. Is it acceptable? No. But I feel like that's the reality most of the time, is that you're in this coaching position if you are coming in contact with these people. So I don't know what the percentages are. I don't think that it's cool that people get to be that fucking ignorant for that goddamn long. But it's, I mean, like, I've ran into it a lot.
They're fighting really hard to stay ignorant, too, though.
Yeah.
I was reading an excellent article this morning about a Tennessee teacher who got fired, Matthew Hawn.
Sure. No one's, I mean.
Hawn. What is, that's Hawn?
I would say Hawn, yeah.
Okay, Matt Hawn. He was a teacher in Tennessee, and he was just a white guy who was trying to teach his class about the history of racism, and he got fired.
What?
I'll send you the article.
Really?
It was wild, yes. Like, they do not want any counter narratives, and they will cry reverse racism.
Wow.
And like, well, it's like, well, you're making it racial. It's like,
I didn't make it racial. I recounted history.
It's like,
and said it out loud.
Yeah. Like, it's really, really sad and really upsetting that. So that's why I'm saying, what is an acceptable level of ignorance?
I mean, honestly, for me to be able to gauge that, there would have to be some kind of reformation happening. You know what I mean? So then I could compare it to what the past levels of ignorance were versus what they should be after there's been some education. But in the meantime, since that hasn't happened and it's not happening, either willfully or otherwise, I don't know how I think it's probably case by case, honestly.
Because I've been thinking a long time about, because human beings, they have to be incentivized. It can't be altruism. We're not incentivized by like justice or altruism. We like to think we are, but we're not. So I'm trying to think about what would incentivize what we're calling white people to
we're sending your kids to the inner city schools
to become allies. Because right now, I can kind of understand. Let's just say if I put myself in the shoes of a racialized white person in America, like, and you're mostly around other racialized white people, like segregation was real. So it didn't just end. Like most people are still pretty segregated.
Yeah, mostly.
So you're in this area where just because this guy, Matt Hahn, he was like, I went to school with all white people. I lived in all white neighborhoods. It's like how do you integrate?
That's exactly.
Like, how do you become like, how do you, because I can't just show up into a black neighborhood and be like, hey guys, I'd like to make friends. Like you can't.
I mean, I would be like, hey, I mean. Not friends, but
and then the people that are already in your community, they're not open to it. So I'm just trying to think of what would incentivize. I mean, it is nice for.
I think if there's no difference, then we should offer people the opportunity to trade places. If it's so easy to pull your own stuff up by your own bootstraps and all of that kind of stuff, then it's like, well, then you come live over here. You send your kids to these schools and you deal with these issues, and then. You know what I mean? You figure it out, because I feel like if your reality has to change, you know what I mean? And it's not necessarily going to be for the better. You feel like, okay, this isn't what I.
Well, I think that's their deepest fear, that they're going to have what has been inflicted on black people inflicted upon them.
Yeah, I mean, I would not be scared of that. I mean, I don't know that it's going to happen, but I think that's a rational thought pattern to have, because typically, consequences is a thing, right? Like,
but it's like, it's not like that's what, I mean, me personally, I'm not trying to make what we're calling white people an underclass.
It's not even a driving force for. I mean, you can even think about a lot of the most militant groups. Like, even if you consider militant black groups, very rarely is it ever like, let's storm the Capitol and take over whitey. It's never that.
No,
it's mostly like, just leave us the fuck alone.
Well, and that was
our own
so much of the
so we
book
can
where it
mind
was
our own
like,
goddamn business.
Why can't we just
leave us alone?
Like, why can't America? Because one of the reviews criticism were that none of the characters were likable. But I think they were all just realistic. Like, in real life, people are crappy. Like, we're weasel. Like, a lot of people are weasels. Like, to me, Amira was likable to me. Like, she...
Likable enough for a 25-year-old who was trying to mind her goddamn business.
Right.
I mean,
I don't know how much we were expecting of her.
But maybe because she wasn't this soup, it wasn't like she was a budding artist. And that's the point. Like, a lot of 25-year-olds or younger, like, that fun age that we're talking about is really shitty sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not such a fucking fun age, because you're trying to find yourself. You're trying to, the world is telling you should be doing certain things. And if you're not following right, where you're falling behind. I feel like young kids now, I'm saying kids as in,
they're kids.
Younger 20s and stuff. And like, they're putting so much pressure on themselves with social media and, everything else to look a certain way, to, oh my God, like, I'm falling behind. Like, how are you 23 thinking you falling behind? And like, you're in college, like, you have a job, like, you're doing stuff, but you're comparing yourself to, this idea of what you think. So I think that it's ironic that it is a little bit sad, because I'm just like, man, you're doing great. Like, I mean, if you're taking forward steps, and I mean, especially like when you're pursuing your education, but even like, let's say you're not, like, if you're working and functioning and you are taking care of yourself, I mean, like, a lot of the times that ends up being what you're doing a lot of the time, just being a grown-up. Yeah. And a lot of air quotes grown-ups don't know what the fuck that they're doing either.
I like the fact too that she kind of hated on her friend who got the promotion a little bit.
Yeah.
And her other friend called her out about it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I like the fact that we didn't have this I don't like perfect protagonists. To me, the characters were very realistic. Even her Kelly, who I would classify as an ally, still messed up a lot. Like, when it came to Amira, like, taking her to that racist ass bar. Just stuff that privilege is all the things you don't have to think about. That's what privilege is. And so there's a lot of stuff where she's like, you're not thinking about how things affect me. Right. And so and then because sexism plays a part of it too, because I just feel like with like you said, there hasn't been a revolution yet, but like, for Black women, you kind of need a, let's just say, like, in the past with civil rights movements and things like that, they've been, for the most part, pretty sexist. Like, women are expected to do the work but not be acknowledged or seen. And then in like feminism that's mostly been led by what we're calling white women. And they're trying to tell you that your only problem is sexism and not racism because they're not racist. It's like, yeah, but actually you are racist. I remember when I was working in a, predominantly white space when I was doing an internship, like one of the directors like I was working with was complaining about being called racist. And it's like, in my mind, I'm thinking it's like, you are. Like, I've been around you. You are.
Just told her.
But it's like, but then I can't graduate because she's the one who filled out my stuff. Like, she ended up being the one filling out my stuff and docked me because she felt I wasn't working hard enough. Even though I was working for the people on Sundays, like I was and I was working with other interns and things. Chicks didn't do nothing. Like, they had to be told what to do, whereas I was finding work and doing it. So it was kind of like.
But they expected you to do that because, it's like, well,
And they kind of wanted me to be the sort of black mouthpiece for it because I'm proof they can point to say we're not racist. We have
I think that's the most damaging part about all of this and that relationship she tried to have with Amara, because you are turning me into a non-entity. You know what I mean? Like, now I'm this accessory. So
that was because I told you this was the first Amazon review I ever left, and I couldn't find it. But just to paraphrase it, I was telling because we always say who should read this book, and it's like if you are a person of color who works in predominantly white environments and are just seen as an accessory to white people's narratives, then you will love this book,
right?
Because I agree with you. That's totally what
was just like,
she was turned
we can't
into.
do that. And then and too on the flip end of that, there's Kelly who, probably fetishizes black women in a way.
Because he only has black friends. He was that white guy,
black friends,
and I can't even really blame him though, because I was like, if I was a racialized white person, like who would I want to be around?
Right. Look at Neil. No, he's got white friends too, though.
He does.
Brennan, thanks.
Yeah.
I just threw his name out like all y'all knew who the hell Neil was.
I knew.
You did know. But I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with having friend groups that are different from you. I do think when you're dating people, though, I think that's where it gets weird. Like if all your friends happen to be, it might just be where you are. It might just be those are the people who, are interested in the same thing. So that's, or even if, now I will say I do get how. So let's say, for instance, you're a tall, lovely, brown-skinned woman.
Oh, thank you.
And white men tend to, like, if we're both out, they're coming up toward you.
Yeah, it's just,
you know what I mean? And I'm sort of big, so
not really though.
You know what I mean? I'm a big girl, so there's
sure. We're going with
they
that.
They don't really like that much.
Well, no, but it's also too because you're not different enough.
Yeah, it's too right. It's too plain. So you're like this exotic.
Yes, so exotic.
It's like, no, you're black. You know,
black.
Yeah, black.
Unmistakably.
Black.
No one's asking me like, what are you?
It's like, so is there any right?
It's like you're clearly like.
But if you not okay, what was that noise?
It was like clearly. Okay. I'm not passing anywhere.
No, but I do think that like there's that. So to me, if those are the types of men that always approach you because those are the men that are around you, and you date those men, does that mean like, oh, she only dates wine guys? You know how like that'll be.
Oh my God!
Like,
let me just date one. It was terrible. You know what I mean? Like if you just date one, it's like, oh, you date white dudes. And it's like, I swear to God, I probably date less white people than you do. It's always and to me, like that was always crazy because I don't discriminate. Like if someone white like is interested in ask me out, I'll usually say yes. Mm-hmm. Like I'm not doing much.
Unless
but it's like then I've had black guys be like, it's like you date black girl. And it's like, I've seen you or I remember one dude was like, well, I don't date them. It's like,
well, me either. How about that? Okay. So move on.
It's like, yes, it's like I've seen you smash multiple white girls over a period of time. It's like, why are you? It's like, so why is it? I remember, let me stop.
See, do not. But so basically, I'm making that distinction because I do feel like there's a part of that where it's like, well, maybe, this fictional character who is not even real, and I'm going into a backstory.
A lot
of
this feel like it might have been grabbed from real life, though.
But I'm just saying that is
from
real.
Philly.
I bet it probably is. But my thing is that if those are the kind of men that come up to you, it's just like, like I will hear larger white women make that comment, like, guess who comes up to me?
Yeah.
It's not the white men. You know
I like
what I mean?
how Chris Rock said it's just more white to love.
There's that. And I mean, I don't, so I get that part, but I don't like when it's a concerted effort to
to exclude other groups.
So, but
that gets weird.
So they don't show the backstory of like, is he doing that thing or not? But I just feel like, you know, he had a type. He probably, it seemed like, even though they, I guess it was alluded to, but they don't show.
Well, like, I mean, we know for a fact that he dated Alex. I'm gonna let you struggle. Alex. I hate it so much. I hate it so much.
Yeah, it's not.
It makes it so hard to like her character because it's like, why choose such a difficult pronunciation of that name? It's already a name.
Nope.
I'm sorry for yelling.
Alex. And that's what it is.
So he dated her in high school. So obviously he has dated different.
That was high school.
All right.
That was before he tried to get, you know, his black friend crew assembled and moved into.
Get his cred.
Yeah, man.
That's cool.
Then it's like, this solidifies it because if I have a black girl hopping on, then that really makes it.
Hopping on what?
That duke. Then that makes it official. So, no, but I mean, I think he probably did like black women. But on top of that, it did feel like a little bit of a fetish. I know I wouldn't appreciate that. I don't want to be dated just because I'm black. I also don't want to be friended just because I'm black. And I think at the end of it, you felt like both of them were using her. And I think that's the part that was kind of like, poor Amira. I mean, you're just trying to mind your motherfucking business.
Yeah, they're both, because it was kind of like they're both telling her like how to be valuable and how to basically move the way they want to see her move, where she's like, I want to move the way I want to move right now. I get that it doesn't make sense for you. And to me, that's something I deeply resonated in because I feel like I make a lot of moves that don't make sense to other people because they're like, wait, why wouldn't you? Like not too long ago, I got a job offer and it was for a lot of money, but it would have involved working with pretty much just who's been racialized as white people.
First of all, the fact that you had to take a deep breath and then it was like it hurt to come out.
It did.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
But it's like that. But like I have to think about like what I want every day of my life to be like. And it was like I've been here before, and I hate it here. Like so, I want to go. I don't like. To me, it's not worth the money
to have that additional layer of stress on top of everything.
Yeah, like I'd rather be poor than miserable.
I want to make a song about that. The way you said that made me feel like I'd rather be poor.
I'd rather be
like
poor.
A really
I say that all the time too, especially when they like try to tell you like, oh, you have to eat this or this. I like I'd rather be fat. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I would rather just like no. Yeah. Like, I get it. I'm not supposed to want to be either of those things, but sometimes it's like I don't know how much misery I'm supposed to put up with.
That, and I think that's a fair point too. But I did not feel that Alex, I mean, even though she thought she had Amira's best interest in her, I mean, bitch, you're violating her privacy.
Because here's the other thing. She ends up dropping the tape, even though Amira at every step of the way, she's never wavered in any way, shape, or form. Be like, well, maybe I will release it. No, she's always been like,
found it, nosy bitch. Like that was the other again, like just the prime
in my shit.
She was on Alexa's computer on her laptop, sending an email or something, and left the window up. And so when she went in there, somehow she sees
and went in the deleted folder.
Like you're trolling, bitch. You're really digging though. It was like, yeah, she was going hard. And I didn't like her friends trying to do that transformation on Amira too, because she was trying to get her to come over, because this is how they ended up finding out that there was a Thanksgiving dinner. Amira wasn't going back home, and she planned on spending Thanksgiving with Kelly. Oh,
you're talking about Alex's friends.
Alex's group of friends. Yeah, her little
I thought you were talking about Amira's friends. Because I liked Amira's friends. They could have used a little more.
They were cute. But no, she ended up inviting her over, her and her boyfriend, to this Thanksgiving dinner. And it was supposed to be like, you know, supposedly she decorated in a way that was supposed to be funny. So it was kind of tacky, like maybe her parents
on purpose.
Yeah, like on purpose. And then, you know, she answers the door and it's them. And then she's like instantly like, fuck, I'm back in high school. Try not to be this tacky bitch with all this gaudy stuff. And then how is he here with her? And it was just very, I mean, she was very just self-centered, very selfish, self-unaware.
You knew this particular client of mine. She was from Ethiopia.
Okay.
And she had another friend who was African, and she had a white husband. Mm-hmm. And they would go out to dinners and stuff like that. And other white women would be like, oh, you're so lucky to have nabbed him. And she'd be like, bitch, he's lucky to have me. What are you talking about? Like, it was always this assumption of like, you're playing above the rim.
Right. Like, oh, wow. Congratulations
how'd you
to
do
you
that?
Because...
Yeah. How you do that?
Yeah,
Like,
and that was the vibe that she was given. Like, how are you this 25-year-old who doesn't have her life together? And even when, why did Elise go to her apartment? She went to her apartment for something.
That would have been in my first reading of it.
I think maybe to
forgot.
invite her. Maybe it was to invite. I don't remember what, but she ends up going to her apartment, and I don't think she called or anything. She popped up on her, and she lets her in. Well, for one, it was like the building, and it was like they're describing the neighborhood that she lives
she's
in.
like,
and it's like, let me clutch my pearls, and
there's no doorman.
Right, like she goes in and she's like looking at everything, and just sort of, I don't know. It was just very creepy. I just felt like the whole pet situation, I honestly hate that. I do not want to be your pet. I have friends who happen to be white, and I like to think that we're friends because as people, you know what I mean? Like, we're either vibrating on a similar wavelength, or we genuinely just enjoy the conversation or whatever
Moni,
that exchange
I'm only
is.
friends with you because you're black.
So, well, this might be the end of something that used to be.
Yeah, I'm saying
good.
I want people to just, because there's lots of black people like you.
There's lots of black people I'm not friends with.
That's true.
So, you know what I mean?
Most
It's
of them
not
actually.
necessarily a prerequisite to be a friend, but it certainly has to be something. I don't want white friends that tell me, well, I don't see race, I don't see color, because then bitch, you don't see me, and you don't see
what I'm going through.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just like me being like, well, I mean, I don't really see you as a woman, I just see you as a person. It's like, bitch, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, I mean, it was a good exploration into the human condition, especially when it comes to, the idea of comparing your reality to somebody else's, and questioning, the motives of the people in your life, really. Because that is definitely something that, that takes time. I think even when you're younger, that can sometimes not necessarily be something that you're always
definitely
aware of. But were you satisfied with how the book ended?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like that's real life. I'm glad that she kind of cut everybody off.
Yeah, she did. And even though she ended up finding out that, because she thought that Kelly was the one who released it, because her friends was like, bitch, who else would have released it? And so she stopped talking to him. She kind of ghosted him. And then come to find out, when Alix went back to her, why the fuck? Oh, no. She knew in high school. She figured out in high school that Kelly never really did tell the boy Robbie or whoever.
Yeah.
The plan they just ended up coming over to her house or whatever.
Right. They just found the note or whatever. He didn't give it to him.
Yeah, he found it because his locker was right below Kelly's.
Yeah, and it fell
down through the crack. Yeah. So another motherfucker meddling. My advice to everybody be mind your business.
Because here's the thing. I mind my business all the time, and I'm still not handling all of it.
Wow.
So if I start meddling in somebody else's, that's just time that I'm taking away from minding my business.
Ooh,
so yeah, that's what you should just concentrate on. Be polite. Like, just work on being polite. If you don't know how to move in certain spaces, I understand, like, for people who have been segregated and stuff, like, we felt like we've been given this narrative, we're all different and stuff like that, and there are some differences, but on the whole, most people just come at everything from a place of respect and politeness, and you'll be fine. Amen. And don't ask too many daggone questions. You want to take a break?
Well, let's rate the book real quick. What would you give it? Do you have any ratings? Do you have anything cute and funny this time?
I would give this 5 synthetic wigs.
Damn. Okay. Not 5 synthetic wigs.
It's just because she had one on in the first scene of the book, and just the way that they described it was kind of.
I hate it a lot.
I was like, I'm there, right there with you. Like, I've been 25. In my 20s in the club in a short skirt with a synthetic wig. Yeah, been right there. So I'm gonna say 5 synthetic wigs.
All right, we're back from our break.
Yay, welcome back, everybody.
How was that for you? Was that great?
It was great. It was a good break.
That. All right, cool. So before we get to the last segment of our show, I wanted to invite you guys to reach out, guys. We want to hear book suggestions. You guys can find us on Instagram at thefabpodcast, on IG, also thefabpodcast@gmail.com. So if you guys have book titles, you guys want us to read, if you want to share any really crazy or interesting stories with us.
If you want feed pics, we'll send those.
Boom. If you want to be on the show, we're actually, hopefully we'll be getting a guest.
Disclaimer, I'm not sending feed pics.
Oh.
I just said that to get attention.
Yeah, that's okay. That's fine. Let's see you ignore people who do that, guys. That's another little fun fact to just keep it moving. But no, yeah, if you guys, if you get time, I know life is busy. I mean, we get it. That's why we're here, right? But yeah, reach out to us. Let us know that you're listening. Like our shit on Instagram. Follow us. We're actually we're getting close to 1,000 followers, so y'all should help us do that. Share this, rate it, review it, whatever. Holla at us, give us some feedback.
If we get to 1,000, then I'll send feed pics.
Okay, that's a lie. So, what we're going to do now is spin the wheel. So this is how we pick our next book that we're going to read or whatever we're going to talk about the next episode. So here we go. Whee! Okay, so it looks like this landed on Amy Tan, Unintended Memoir. Wow, so we're not reading the book at all, are we?
No, this is something that it's been on my list on Netflix for a while, and this will be my excuse to finally watch it and take notes.
And Lord knows that's going to make me have to sit down and watch it.
But she is one of my favorite writers.
Yes, so she wrote The Joy Luck Club. I mentioned her
Saving Fish from Drowning.
Boom, that one. I don't
The Bonesetter's Daughter.
Okay, and that's enough for now. I think that's
The Valley of Amazement.
Okay, see now she's showing off.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's good at writing.
Listen, so I'm excited to see this because the only one of all of those things you just said, I saw the Joy Luck Club years ago. So I'm happy to revisit some of her work and get back and talk to you guys about it. We hope you enjoyed our show tonight.
Yes.
Today, whatever time of day you're listening. And we'll be back to, probably talk about more racism. Let's bet. Is there going to be any racism in hers?
I'm pretty sure Asian people don't experience racism in America.
That is probably, you're right.
She probably is living a perfectly equitable, merit-based life as an Asian woman in America.
Man.
That's my guess.
I'm going to be impressed if that's the case.
Nah.
I'm going to bet against that.
It's probably bad in a lot of ways.
And it's probably good in a lot of ways, too. So.
Good in a lot of ways. I mean, that's life, though, isn't it?
It is. Got to take them both together, guys. It's a cocktail.
I imagine it's going to involve San Francisco in some way.
Oh, wait. Why?
I just feel like a lot of her books take place there.
Oh, okay.
So I'm just guessing. It's a pretty good bet. It's a pretty high Asian population
there.
Yeah, just Asian population.
Numbers. I'm a math gal.
Close to Asia.
Okay, you know what? On that note, everyone, I'm going to get us out of here, all right?
Before I get canceled.
Yeah, we don't want no hate mail. Actually, I'm taking back the email address and don't email us about that, okay? So on that note, guys, bye. See you later.
Thanks.
Before we go, we must give thanks to our sound engineer, Eric Dizzy from Dorian Keith Media, to Urban Nerd for providing our music. Buzz Viral Marketing runs our social media. And legal services were handled by Trezanae M. Atkins. If you like what you heard, please feel free to join us every Wednesday for another fake-ass book club. Cheers.
Thank you guys for listening. You can check us out at thefabpodcast.com. Please subscribe, rate, and review our podcast wherever you're listening right now. We want to hear from you. Come put it in our life. Thanks again. And until next time, peace, love, and the Fake Ass Book Club. We out.